Hey everybody, it's Sarah and I am back with another process video for the beautiful Scrappery kit Taylor. The new kits will be on their way to you very shortly, and in the meantime I'm going to try to bring you a few more process videos until they arrive. Here I've got a piece of 8.5 by 11 white textured cardstock that I did treat with a little bit of white opaque gesso because I wanted to use some of those shimmery paints on there. Everyone is really crazy right now about those shimmers, inklings paints, and they're a little bit expensive but not too bad. But I just happen to have in my stash some old shimmery watercolors that I got at an art show a couple of years ago, and I thought, oh, these look an awful lot like those shimmers inklings that just came out, so I thought I'd give these a whirl. So like I said, I did pre-treat my white cardstock with some gesso just so it didn't wrinkle up and get too wet. And here I'm just loading on the color with my just my regular old paintbrushes, some water, and a little bit of packaging. So I'm doing a little bit of packaging technique, and then I will start to kind of move the paint around a little bit with the brush and a little bit of the packaging. That is actually just a piece that I cut out from a package of thickers. So here you see I'm just moving the color around because I wanted a little bit more pink, and I wanted the pink to be a little bit more dark to match the beautiful colors on those flowers that I actually fussy cut it out from one of the papers from Cocoa Vanilla Studio. And I just chose the more coral, the teal, and the light pink to kind of use as my background colors here. And then I didn't like those 3 dabs at the bottom, so off camera I did wipe those off, and I did stop there to let them dry. So like you see, I wiped them off. Here I'm grabbing some Heidi Shine in Coral, Mint, and Blush, and after it's dried a little bit, I'm just going to hit the areas of the same color. So the colors that I got on there, I use the exact same colors, like the blush on the pink, the teal on the teal, and the coral on kind of the orangey coral. And there is just a close-up, and I'm going to stop the camera and let that dry for a minute too. So now I've got a beautiful black and white picture of my daughter on her way to the daddy-daughter dance back in May. And I'm just going to mat that on a piece of just regular old plain vellum, and I'm going to pop it up on 5 pop dots, just so I can tuck some ephemera and other stuff under there. And I do set it there purposely at an angle just to cover up the watercolor bits that I didn't really like the most. And now I'm just going to goof around with some of the pieces that I fussy cut from the paper, and then some of those beautiful wood veneer pieces. And I'm just using my Tombow Mono adhesive and my Tombow Mono multi-glue. Like I said, it does take a couple minutes to dry, but it is the best. It will stick anything to anything if you give it a minute to dry. And it is working no problem on wood veneer and gesso, no problem at all. And I did manage to get all 3 of those in there. And just dabbing off some of the extra glue with my finger, and my fingers did get a little sticky by the end here. There's that beautiful acrylic love word that came in the kit, and I'm going to use my multi-glue to stick that on there too, no problem. And then I'm just going through my little kit next to me. I picked out a flare that says, "This makes me so happy." Here's some more of the beautiful baker's twine that Ronell used to package up the kits, and I'm just going to tuck that behind the photo just to bring in a little bit more of that beautiful teal color. And I'm going to grab my tiny attacher here, and that's how I'm going to stick that on there. I do have that last little piece of baker's twine, and I attach that into a circle because I knew, see, I'm going to try there, I knew pretty well that my tiny attacher wouldn't go that far, so I did just use some Tombow Mono multi-glue again, and it will dry just perfectly. Now I'm going to go for some of those beautiful little flowers that came in the kit. All I did was press the little stem down straight, stick a little glue behind it, and stick it down, and I tried to use 1 dark pink, 1 light pink, and 1 white on each parts of my embellishment clusters just to make it even and well balanced. So there's a dark pink, here will come a light pink, and next I'll do a white. And I'm just going to get that little guy stuck in there. There we go. And here I've got some of the beautiful chipboard pieces that I do like to pull a lot of the dimension off of them. And that's just my own decision or my own, the way that I like the chipboard to look. I don't like it to stick up so far, especially when I do Project Life. When I do a lot of Project Life pages, they get so bulky, and I really have gotten in the habit of taking a lot of that bulky chipboard backing off. Now, at this point, my fingers were very sticky, and that chipboard arrow was sticking more to my fingers than the page, so that's funny. And there's a little chipboard U, and I'm going to tuck that in right at the top there behind that dark pink flower. And now I'm just going through and grabbing my Kaisercraft gems and pearls and those gorgeous Love Always glittery enamel dots. Those were just gorgeous. And here I've still got some tiny word stickers that I'm desperately trying to get used up. I'm going to pick out a couple of those and get those stuck down. I really wanted them under that picture perfect, but by the time I got there, it had dried down completely. So I'm just going to go for on top. And now I am just going to stick on some of those gorgeous glittery enamel dots wherever I kind of see an open spot for them, some of the pearls. And then I've got the black gems, and I've got the kind of champagne-y pink rose gold ones too. And I just want some little pops of black to accent the love word, because that is black, and I needed some more black around my layout just to kind of ground it a little bit. And that is about it, guys. Here are some close-ups at the end. I did add a few little sequins at the end too after I was off camera. So there you have it, guys. You'll see a lot more from me coming up soon. So thank you so much. Bye.